All right. So based on what I'm seeing right now, Virgo, okay? Virgo, I see that you want to, I feel like I'm talking to a lot of women right now in particular, okay? Males, if this resonates with you as well, because maybe you may be dealing with a Virgo woman or maybe you're a Virgo man and you're just getting the same vibrations, then please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you can find out when I go ahead and upload other videos. And for those of you interested in a private reading, that information is in the description box. So as I was saying, you guys are now going through the sacrificial period so that you know where to start off after ending something. I see that you ended something with this Five of Cups. Something made you really sad. And now you're going through that period of, mothering the new you, mothering the new life that you're going to be living. That's what the Empress does. She's a mother. She's a birth giver. She's a creator. So now you're sacrificing so that you could create the life that you want to live, so that you could get to that level of happiness that you know that you deserve to be at. The Fool is indicative of dropping a lot of baggage that you had prior in love relationships. And when I say love relationships, I think we are talking about love relationships because the only minor arcanas that are on the table are of either the fire sign associated with the Hangman or with this Nine of Cups, Queen of Cups, Five of Cups, and Seven of Cups. I think a lot of you Virgo are starting to realize that things are balancing out. They're not as sad as they used to be. You don't feel as sad as you used to feel regarding a completion that some of you may have just endured. I think some of you may have just endured a breakup, or you're going through a period of separation from somebody that you really care about. And whenever any of us experience that, and I think a lot more people are experiencing that than you think, Virgo. That's all I talk to are people who are either in separation or full on divorce. And even if that person divorced that person or separated from that person because they knew that that person was like not good for them in any way, shape, or form, your heart is still broken. It's even worse than a death. Why? Because your heart was like all involved in that thing. And it's hard to kill hope. It's hard to kill hope. It's hard to kill hope because when you get into a relationship with somebody, the hope is to be with them forever. And I don't think that you're ending a relationship that you were in for like a year. I think you're ending something that you were in for quite some time. And I definitely see that you loved the absolute hell out of this person. You may even be the mother of this person's children. And you're very sad that you have to select a new love. However, when things like this happen, it happens because Spirit is making it so. Making it so that it does happen. Sometimes we don't need to know why things happen. They happen because they needed to happen so that things could be greater later. You don't know what you might have endured with this person had you stayed with this person any longer. You knew that you needed to end this relationship with this person, which is indicative of this Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups talks about either you could be over drinking as a result, right? Some people see that in this card, but what I see is happiness, especially when it's in between the Empress and the Fool. I feel that those of you who ended relationships, even though there's a level of sadness there, I feel like there's a level of freedom there as well that you are appreciating and that you are taking advantage of. And you're also doing what you need to do on that sacrificial tip so that you know what sacrifices to make, on a personal level and on whatever other level, so that you don't repeat the same problems in relationships again. Because this Five of Cups heartache is not an easy place to be. But I'm getting the sense that you are coming out of that energy because you're starting to see why it was fair for you to make the decision that you made, whether it was to comply with the fact that a relationship ended or whether you had been the one that actually initiated the breakup. Things were not balanced in this relationship. Okay? That's why justice is there. Things were not balanced. And given that this is a Virgo reading, I have to assume that I'm talking to Virgo who was done unfairly. I have to assume, although this could be a vice versa reading, and all are welcomed. Virgo, I am starting to notice that you have other love options, which is indicative of this 7 of Cups. Sometimes we think it's the other person's energy, and that's what makes you sad. I think that, Virgo, you're telling yourself that this person ended the relationship with you because there was somebody else. There wasn't somebody else. Sometimes relationships end because that time is up. That contract was already written. It had an expiration date. That expiration date hit, and now it is time for you to find a new suitor, Virgo. And the Wheel of Fortune, the World, Temperance, Justice, the Empress, the Fool, these are all major arcanas. The Hangman, these are all major arcana. So Virgo, this tells me you're going through a very intense period right now in your life, because you're learning to let go of baggage that you don't need to carry in future love relationships. You're learning how to get a handle on your emotions when things don't go the way that you felt they ought to go based on the effort that you put into a relationship. See, nothing is worse than when you put a whole bunch of effort into a relationship and the other party or the other partner does not acknowledge shit you did for that relationship, shit you did for that partnership. And I'm getting the sense that that's exactly how you're feeling. You're feeling like, you having to come out of this relationship is a sacrifice, but it's not a sacrifice. What you're sacrificing is all of that other fuck shit that would have came out of that relationship had you stayed in it another day. That you are at a place now where you're going to be able to recognize, you're going to be able to create a situation where happiness does exist, where you can let go of all of that damn baggage. All that damn baggage. See, the Fool doesn't just talk about a new beginning, although it does. But the Fool also talks about letting go of a whole bunch of baggage that you were accumulating in this relationship so that you don't stop knowing how to love. See, let me tell you what happens when you get into a relationship with somebody and you end up staying in a relationship that's long overdue, that should have ended a long damn time ago, with somebody who does not appreciate you, didn't appreciate you then, they don't appreciate you now. Let me tell you what happens. You start to forget how to love yourself because this person is not loving you the right way. So what happens is you start to believe that you're not worthy of the love that you used to know how to give yourself. Spirit recognized likely that that's what was getting ready to happen. And that's exactly why Spirit pulled the plug on this relationship. It doesn't mean that it's going to be over forever. For some of you, maybe, and for some of you, maybe not. If you'd like to know, the information on how to get a private reading is in the description box, okay? And I can let you know if there's an ending there and you need to accept it, or if it's just a separation. We could talk about your situation. I am a spiritual guidance counselor. That's what I do every day. I ask you questions so that you can come up with your own conclusion. I do not rob people of their choices, but what I see in these cards is that there was a completion because there was something going on that just was not fair in it. And what I'm seeing, Virgo, is that you were likely contributing a lot more to the relationship than the other party. When that happens, you know what else you train yourself to do in any future relationships? Because a relationship like that wasn't going to last forever anyway. So then guess what? The next relationship you would have got into, you would have went into that next relationship giving all of yourself to somebody who treated you however the hell they wanted to treat you, good, bad, or indifferent. You would have made the same damn sacrifices. You would have walked into the same damn trap. But see what you're going through right now? With this sadness that you're feeling right now? Yes, I understand. Breakups are hard. They are hard. They're not easy. They're not easy. But what you're learning to do is let go of the baggage. You're learning how to say, I'm going to be happy anyway, despite what's going on. And that's part of why you're getting this sacrifice card, this Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck. Because it's going to be through the sacrifice and you coming up with this eureka moment. Here's what I mean when I say the eureka moment in the Hanged Man. He's in that voluntary position so that he can come up with that eureka moment. Why am I sacrificing? So that I can come up with the idea that makes sense as to why it's making sense that the person that I thought I was going to be with until the end of time, why that didn't work. So let's see what else Spirit has to say about this. Yeah, there was some betrayal with this 10 of Swords. There was also somebody who had a very harsh way of talking to you and had a very aggressive style of speaking to you. Are you sure you wanted to be in a relationship like that? Some of you are married to this person, but this person was very methodical with regards to your personal finances as well. That's what I'm saying. There was no balance in this relationship. You realized it and you knew that this commitment had to end. You knew that you had a whole lot more potential than what you were able to display in this relationship. And I'm also seeing that other people are giving you offers of love. Now, you may or may not have any interest in these people because your heart is still with this person that you're ending a relationship with, even though they did betray you. But I'm letting you know right now, all eyes are on you too, baby, just like Gemini. Don't fuck around and have some Gemini in your shit. I'm going to tell you right now. You got some Gemini in your sun, moon, or rising. I'm going to tell you right now, you ain't going to be single long. No, 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 sir. No, 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 ma'am. I'm telling you straight up. You recognize that there was no balance in this relationship. This person was a straight up betrayer. And betrayers are the type of people that like to tell your business. Then you know why they like to tell your business? Because they don't want anybody to know about theirs. They are excellent storytellers. Excellent storytellers. They love to tell a story as if they are the reason for the season, when the whole damn time you could have been doing this you were doing this relationship by yourself. That's what this is indicative of. You were doing all the giving. You were doing all the giving. You see this Page of Pentacles doing all the giving? Here you are, this independent individual who knows how to make money. You know how to make money. You know how to be self-sufficient. And you were always offering, always giving, always offering, always offering, always offering in this relationship. Not even realizing that you had other options, somebody else that would have loved every aspect of the fact that you are so kind and so giving. Do you know how many people are in relationships with people who do not know how to be appreciative for shit? I don't know what the cosmos are doing right now by ending all these relationships that are being ended. Okay, but I do think that there is an intense lesson that is meant for us to all learn. And that one lesson, it is definite self-love, because when you love yourself, you do not allow yourself to be in relationships with people who take advantage of your kindness. You sit there, you're devoted to this person, you love them, you make plans with this person that are meant to last until the end of time, and this person has no type of appreciation for the efforts that you're putting in. And so Spirit is going to end that thing. Spirit is going to end that relationship, because Spirit is not going to allow you to reach the highest heights that you could reach with somebody of that caliber, with somebody who's going to be putting swords in your back all along the way, because you don't deserve that. You're over here giving to this person, and this person is over here just taking away, taking as much as you give them. So Virgo, here's what I would like for you to do, okay? Given that you guys are my best observers of the zodiac, here's what I'd like for you to observe, Virgo. If you had to ask yourself one question about this relationship, I would hope that it would be this. When I was in this relationship with this person, I know what I gave in this relationship. I gave of myself. I gave of my time. I gave of my finances. I gave of help with my children. I gave. I really can't think of too many things that I would do different rather than just not be with this person who does not know how to appreciate what I put into this relationship. If you could ask yourself one question, Virgo, here's that question. Did this person acknowledge everything that you did for this relationship? Did this person even appreciate the love that you were giving them? Did this person appreciate the fact that even though they had a mouth like a straight sharpened sword and they came about everything aggressively, that you still were making plans for the two of you? Can you honestly say that this person knew how to acknowledge that? And if the answer is no, that's why Spirit pulled the plug on this thing. Because you don't need to be in any relationships like that. They're not fair, especially if you've done nothing to earn being in a relationship of that caliber. Okay? Closing you out, Virgo. Right now you're dealing with some anxiety. What's bothering you are the things that you don't know about. You saw yourself with this person until the end of time. You're overthinking. You're thinking that this person is giving to other people. And this person is still trying to be in your mix too, Virgo. That's what I'm seeing. They're still trying to be in your mix and still trying to make you feel like this relationship is viable. You know why they're doing that? Because they thought the grass was greener on the other side, realized that it wasn't, and they know that you're always going to be there. And now what you're doing is you're saying, no, I'm going to sacrifice for me this time. As hard as it may be, I'm going to sacrifice for me this time. I'm going to give to me this time. The scales are going to be balanced because a part of me is the beggar and a part of me is the merchant, and I am going to give to myself. You see this picture? It's a picture of a merchant giving to two beggars. There's an aspect of you that is in need, and there's an aspect of you that can fulfill that need by making whatever necessary sacrifices you need to make emotionally, psychologically, spiritually. Remember that, okay? Yes, I know how difficult it is when your mind runs wild and when you're thinking, I know this person's doing this, I know this person's doing that. Guess what? This person's life was not as happy as when they were with you. I can tell you that. That came from an intuitive, thank you, Spirit, for that. That person's not happy without you because ain't nobody gonna put in what you put into that relationship. Nobody. You see this 10 of Cups? I'm going to tell you right now, everybody does not have the potential to give anybody the 10 of Cups. Everybody does not know how to do that, baby. Everybody does not know how to be devoted. That's what this Hierophant represents. Commitment, devotion. Many of you are wondering, was this person ever as devoted to me as I was to them? And when it comes to balance in this relationship, there was no balance, and that's not fair. And it's like driving you nuts that this person didn't even consider that you deserve this, that the fairness that you were giving them. Virgo, let that sadness go, baby. That is indicative of this right here, this Fool right here. Let that baggage go. Let it go. Because you have to understand, when a person does not know how to receive love, I want you to think about it. That's sad. You gave this person love. This person didn't know how to receive it. Whomever this is resonating with, whether it be the cross watcher or you, Virgo, yourself, if this resonates, I ask that you hit like and subscribe and leave your comments. I like you guys to leave the comments, not only to interact with me, but with each other as well, so that you guys can be a support system to each other. Let the baggage go. Because if this person does not know how to receive love, you have to think about some of the shit they may have dealt with in their life, that they don't know how to make that sacrifice and come up with their eureka moment so that they can get into these amazing relationships and actually keep them. You're going to be able to keep a relationship because you know how to love, be devoted, and give that 10 of Cups energy to anyone. You're the one that gets to look out into the world and say, I get to go ahead and change the way that I am indoctrinated when it comes to relationships. No, I'm not going to give everything right off the bat. No, I'm not. I'm going to make the next partner prove to me that they are worth me losing everything if I choose to give them everything. And when I say everything, I'm not talking about material stuff. I'm talking about everything within you. You could lose yourself when you give another party every aspect of yourself. You know how easily that happens in relationships, how easily you could lose yourself. Now you are being given the opportunity to really recognize what your place in this world is, now that this person is not sitting there telling you what you ain't, telling you what you are, as if they are the dictator of all people. What they need to worry about is who they are, by putting all them damn swords in your back. And I see that you're now going through the process of pulling those swords out, and you're feeling full of anxiety because it went down like that. But you got to let that go because they did that. You didn't do that. That says everything about them. All it says about you is that you allowed it. Now you're going through your sacrificial period of asking yourself, well, why did I allow it? You allowed it because you were taught that. There were some aspects in your parents' relationship, grandparents' relationship, where one party sacrificed way more than the other, and you thought that's the way things were supposed to go. And what ended up happening is you became the beggar real soon, and the other person that you were with became the merchant real soon, got a real big head. And the funny thing is, they think that they should be able to do whatever the hell they want, but they don't want anybody else to have you. Believe that. Believe that. Virgo, go on with your life in love. Leave that thing in love. Leave it in love. Leave that person in love, because I'm telling you, only hurt people do not know how to receive love back. That's what's up. Right now, you need to give to yourself. You are both the merchant and the beggar right now. Your heart is hurt, which is why this 5 of Cups is there. So give love to yourself, because you deserve to give some love to yourself. Go buy yourself something new. Go get yourself a pedicure or a manicure. If you're a male, go do something that you like to do. Go make some sacrifices for yourself. You be the merchant and the beggar. There's an aspect of you that you need to give to yourself, that you were so busy giving to other people all the time. Give to yourself. Once you start to give to yourself, guess what you're going to attract? Somebody who likes to give to. Picture that. And the person that you're going to get with next, by the way, is going to be your divine masculine or your divine feminine. Congratulations. It's not going to be your soulmate. This person was just your soulmate that you were with. You may have had children with this person, and ending a relationship, especially when children are involved, it's very difficult. But I also want you to consider what you were teaching your children by staying in a relationship with someone who was verbally, let's say, knew how to take your happiness away in a heartbeat. Okay? Very aggressive in nature. You know, what do you think you were teaching your children by staying with somebody like that? But by being strong enough and saying, you know what, I'm strong enough to walk away. I'm not going to carry this baggage. There's too much more in this world for me to experience, rather than to stay in this place with this person who does not know how to appreciate what I'm offering. And don't forget, the Knight of anything thinks like a teenager, okay? And here you are with this King of Wands energy. This person thinks like an adult, okay? It takes a while to become the Emperor, okay? The Emperor has fought many battles to be able to sit on that particular throne. And that is what you are learning. You're learning how to set boundaries and not let people mistreat you. You're learning how to be in relationships with people who want you to do for yourself and who do for you as much as you've done for them. Okay, Virgo? All right, my Virgo, for those of you who have not quite made the decision, who may have been feeling like, you know, you're in a relationship with somebody who is a backstabber, maybe a master manipulator, and you want confirmation on that, that's what I do. Okay, that is what I do. The signs are there. All I'm going to do is ask you, does this person do this? Does this person do that? I'm going to pull out the cards. I'm going to let you know what Spirit is telling me to tell you, and then we're going to talk about it, because I think a big part of a very healthy, personal, private reading is you venting and getting it out of your system. How being in a relationship with someone who did not appreciate what you brought to the table, I think a big part of the healing comes from you venting. Okay, so if you feel that you want to vent to somebody, your friends are probably tired of hearing you complain about this or whatever the case is, that's what I'm here for, baby. That's what I do.